If you're over 60, your heart health is your lifeline. But there's one innocent-looking snack that could be quietly sabotaging it while you sleep. As someone who's seen thousands of arteries up close, I can tell you, damage doesn't always take years. Sometimes it happens overnight. This isn't about scare tactics. It's about protecting your independence, your energy, and your future. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how a simple evening snack can raise blood pressure, strain your arteries, and set the stage for long-term heart trouble, all without you feeling a single symptom at the time. If you care about keeping your heart strong, your mind sharp, and your body active well into your 70s and 80s, you'll want to hear every word of this. Hit subscribe, give this video a like, and share it with someone you love. Comment "strong heart" to join our community. First, let's uncover the hidden salt bomb snack that silently raises blood pressure overnight. Salt itself isn't the enemy. In fact, your body needs sodium to balance fluids, help your nerves send signals, and keep muscles, including your heart, working properly. But here's the problem: when sodium levels climb too high, especially in a short period of time, your blood volume increases. That means your heart has to pump harder, and the extra force pushes against artery walls. Over time, that repeated strain causes arteries to stiffen, thicken, and lose their ability to expand. For someone over 60, whose blood vessels are already less elastic than they were decades ago, this is a recipe for trouble. The real danger comes from snacks that are loaded with sodium but don't taste noticeably salty. We expect potato chips or pretzels to be high in salt, so we approach them with caution. But what about lightly flavored rice crackers, certain granola bars, or even healthy veggie chips? Many of these can pack over 400–500 milligrams of sodium per serving, and most people eat 2 or 3 servings without realizing it. That's easily over 1,200 milligrams, more than half the daily recommended sodium limit, just from a small evening snack. Here's the kicker: eating that much sodium late in the day is worse than having it at lunch. Why? Because your body processes it while you're sleeping, when blood pressure should naturally drop to give your heart a rest. Excess sodium blunts that nighttime drop, keeping your blood pressure elevated for hours. Studies suggest that people who fail to get this nighttime blood pressure dip have a higher risk of heart attack, stroke, and kidney problems. One study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that older adults who consumed over 2,300 milligrams of sodium daily had significantly more arterial stiffness than those who stayed under 1,500 milligrams, even when their overall diet was otherwise healthy. The changes in the arteries weren't just theoretical. They showed up in actual measurements of how well the vessels could expand and contract. For seniors, this matters even more because the kidneys, which help remove extra sodium, may not be as efficient as they once were. Combine that with common medications like diuretics, blood pressure pills, or heart medications, and sodium's effect on your body can become unpredictable. That's why some doctors recommend that older adults aim for no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day, especially if they have high blood pressure, diabetes, or a history of heart disease. So what counts as a hidden salt bomb? Beyond the obvious snack foods, watch out for flavored instant oatmeal packets, pre-seasoned nuts, light soups in single-serve cups, flavored popcorn, especially microwave varieties, baked goods with savory toppings like cheese or seasoning blends. One packet, bag, or cup might look harmless, but flip the package over and check the label. If one serving has more than 200 milligrams of sodium, and you're likely to eat more than one serving, it's worth reconsidering. For serving size, think of it this way: if you want to keep your nighttime sodium intake safe, aim for no more than 150–200 milligrams in your evening snack. That's about what you'd get from a small handful of unsalted almonds or a piece of fresh fruit with a spoonful of unsalted nut butter. Timing matters too. If you've already had a salty lunch or dinner, maybe canned soup, restaurant takeout, or anything with soy sauce, your sodium tally for the day is already high. Adding a salty snack before bed compounds the effect. The better choice is to go for something naturally low in sodium and high in potassium, which can help counteract sodium's effect on blood pressure. Bananas, kiwi, oranges, and unsalted pumpkin seeds are excellent options. Pairings can help as well. If you're having a small amount of a salty snack, balance it with high potassium foods. For example, pair a few whole grain crackers with fresh tomato slices, or a small amount of low-sodium cheese with apple slices. The potassium helps relax blood vessels and excrete extra sodium. Caution is key for anyone with heart failure, chronic kidney disease, or high blood pressure. These conditions make it harder for the body to handle sudden sodium spikes, and that's when fluid retention, swelling, and dangerous blood pressure surges can happen. If you notice puffy ankles, sudden weight gain overnight, or shortness of breath, these could be signs your body is holding on to too much sodium and fluid. For those thinking, "But I need flavor in my snacks," there's good news. Seasonings like lemon juice, vinegar, garlic powder, smoked paprika, or fresh herbs can make snacks just as enjoyable without adding salt. Some people also find that gradually reducing salt helps retrain their taste buds. After a few weeks, naturally low-sodium foods taste more flavorful. Here's a quick reality check. The average American eats about 3,400 milligrams of sodium daily, more than double the recommended limit for seniors. Imagine the difference if you cut even 1,000 milligrams per day, just by swapping one evening snack. That's the power of small changes. Before we move to the next item, here's your quick engagement question. Do you usually check the sodium content before buying snacks? Type yes if you always read labels, or no if you sometimes forget. Your answer might inspire someone else to be more mindful, and that could protect a heart. Next, let's expose the sugary energy bar trap, a so-called healthy snack that actually behaves like a candy bar inside your body. Energy bars, granola bars, and protein bars often look like the perfect grab-and-go snack, neat, portable, and marketed as healthy. Many even have pictures of oats, nuts, or fruit on the wrapper, giving the impression they're a heart-friendly choice. But when you take a closer look at the nutrition label, you'll often find that these bars pack as much sugar as a candy bar, and in some cases, even more. For someone over 60, this sugar load isn't just about empty calories. The real concern is how it impacts your blood vessels. When you eat a high-sugar snack, your blood glucose spikes quickly. In response, your body releases insulin to bring those levels back down. But that sharp rise and fall creates oxidative stress and inflammation inside your arteries. Think of it like tiny scratches along the vessel walls. Over time, these micro-injuries make it easier for cholesterol and fats to stick, forming plaque that narrows your arteries and makes them less flexible. The trouble with eating these bars in the evening is that your body is about to enter a long period of rest. You're not moving around much, your metabolism slows down, and your body isn't burning through the sugar quickly. Instead, more of it is converted into triglycerides, a type of fat that circulates in your bloodstream and contributes to artery hardening. Elevated triglyceride levels are strongly linked to heart disease, and research shows that older adults with high triglycerides have a greater risk of both heart attacks and strokes. A 2017 study in Nutrients found that diets high in added sugars were associated with increased markers of inflammation in older adults, even when calorie intake was controlled. Inflammation is a key driver in the weakening and stiffening of arteries, and eating sugar before bed gives your body less opportunity to counteract that process. Many bars also combine sugar with refined carbohydrates, such as Rice Crisps or processed oats, which digest quickly and cause an even faster blood sugar rise. And here's the marketing trick. Manufacturers often use multiple types of sweeteners: cane sugar, brown rice syrup, honey, glucose syrup, so sugar doesn't appear at the top of the ingredient list. But add them all together, and a single bar can have 20-25 grams of sugar. That's 5 to 6 teaspoons in one small package. For seniors, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day for women and 36 grams for men. One evening energy bar can easily take you over half that limit in a few bites. And if you already had dessert after dinner, you're likely well beyond the safe range. Serving size control is crucial here. If you absolutely need a quick snack, choose a bar with no more than 5 to 6 grams of added sugar and at least 3 to 4 grams of fiber. The fiber slows down digestion, reducing the blood sugar spike and giving your arteries less of a shock. But even better is to skip the bar entirely and make a simple mix of unsalted nuts, seeds, and a small amount of dried fruit. You'll get sustained energy without the sugar overload. Timing plays a big role too. If you eat a high-sugar snack earlier in the day, your body has more time to use that sugar for energy. At night, when you're sedentary, the sugar is more likely to be stored as fat and to linger in your bloodstream, where it can damage artery walls. That's why late-night sugary bars are one of the worst choices for heart health. Pairing can help mitigate the effects if you're caught without other options. For example, if you do have a sweet bar, eat half and pair it with a handful of raw almonds or walnuts. The healthy fats and protein will slow sugar absorption. You can also drink a glass of water or unsweetened herbal tea alongside it, which can help reduce the sticky concentration of sugar in your bloodstream. Caution is especially important for seniors with diabetes, pre-diabetes, or metabolic syndrome. In these cases, a sugary snack can cause prolonged high blood sugar levels, which further damages blood vessels and nerves. It can also interfere with medications like insulin or certain oral diabetes drugs, leading to unpredictable blood sugar swings. If you're on heart medications like beta blockers, keep in mind that they can mask some of the symptoms of high or low blood sugar, making it harder to recognize a problem until it's severe. Some people are drawn to energy bars because they think they need an evening boost for a workout or activity. But if you're exercising at a moderate level, especially in the evening, you usually don't need extra sugar for fuel. Your body has stored glycogen to use. The sugar from the bar just adds to the load your system has to handle afterward. A safer alternative? Make your own snack bites at home using rolled oats, natural peanut butter, chia seeds, and a touch of honey. This way, you control both the sugar and the portion size, while still getting a satisfying portable snack. Or, slice up an apple and spread a thin layer of almond butter over the slices. You'll get sweetness, crunch, and heart-healthy fats in every bite. Here's a quick mythbuster to keep you engaged. Protein bars aren't automatically good for your heart. Many get their protein from processed isolates, and their sweetness from syrups or artificial sweeteners. And while artificial sweeteners don't raise blood sugar directly, some research suggests they may still affect insulin sensitivity and gut health, which indirectly influence heart health. Before we move on, here's your interactive moment. Have you ever checked the sugar content of your favorite healthy snack bar? If you have, type yes in the comments. If you haven't, type no, and maybe today's the day to start looking more closely at those labels. Now let's talk about trans fat in disguise, the dangerous ingredient still hiding in snacks that quietly clogs your arteries. For decades, doctors and health experts have warned about trans fats, those artificially created fats that make processed foods last longer on the shelf, but shorten lives in the process. Trans fats are formed when liquid vegetable oils are partially hydrogenated, turning them into a semi-solid form. This process gives snacks a longer shelf life and a crisp, flaky texture. But inside the body, they do something far more damaging. They raise LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that clogs arteries, while lowering HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol that helps keep those arteries clear. For someone over 60, that's a dangerous double blow. Your arteries may already be less flexible than they were decades ago, and blood flow may be slower. Add trans fats to the mix, and you create the perfect environment for plaque buildup, narrowing, and hardening. Over time, this increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, and other circulation-related problems like peripheral artery disease. You might think trans fats are a thing of the past because food companies were required to phase them out in many countries. And while it's true that partially hydrogenated oils, the main source of artificial trans fats, have been banned in the US and many other places, small amounts can still show up in processed foods. Even more concerning, certain manufacturing tricks allow some products to legally list 0 grams trans fat on the label as long as they contain less than 0.5 grams per serving. Eat more than one serving, and those hidden amounts add up quickly. Where are these sneaky trans fats hiding? Some of the biggest culprits include flaky pastries and pie crusts made with shortening, certain brands of microwave popcorn, cream-filled snack cakes, non-dairy coffee creamers, some packaged crackers and biscuits. Even products labeled made with vegetable oil can contain small amounts of trans fat if the oil has been modified for stability. And let's not forget naturally occurring trans fats in some animal products, like beef and dairy. Though research suggests these may not be as harmful as the industrial kind, they still contribute to overall saturated fat intake. The impact of trans fats on heart health goes beyond cholesterol changes. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people with higher trans fat intake had more markers of systemic inflammation, another major driver of artery damage. Chronic inflammation can weaken artery walls, making them more prone to small tears. These tears become landing spots for cholesterol deposits, which grow into dangerous plaques over time. Serving size control is critical here, but with trans fats, the safest serving is ideally 0. Since even tiny amounts can be harmful, especially for those with a history of heart disease, the best approach is complete avoidance. That means reading ingredient lists carefully, look for partially hydrogenated oil or hydrogenated vegetable oil, and skip any product that contains them. Timing matters less with trans fats than with sodium or sugar. The damage doesn't happen in a matter of hours. Instead, it's the cumulative effect over weeks, months, and years that erodes artery health. But that's exactly why seniors should be extra vigilant. Your body has already weathered decades of dietary wear and tear, so reducing harmful fats now can make a real difference in maintaining artery flexibility and blood flow. If you're craving a crispy or flaky snack, there are better options. Air-popped popcorn, made with a drizzle of olive oil, baked whole-grain crackers without hydrogenated oils, or homemade granola baked with avocado oil instead of shortening, can give you texture without the artery damage. Pairings can make heart-friendly swaps even more satisfying. For example, Pair whole grain crackers with hummus for plant-based protein and healthy fats, or enjoy fresh fruit with a small handful of raw nuts for crunch and flavor. These combinations not only taste great, but also support better cholesterol levels. Caution is especially important for seniors with elevated LDL cholesterol, low HDL cholesterol, or a family history of early heart disease. Trans fats make it harder for medications like statins to do their job effectively, and if you're also dealing with high blood pressure or diabetes, trans fats add another layer of cardiovascular strain. Here's a quick fact to keep you alert. The World Health Organization has set a global target to eliminate industrial trans fats from the food supply entirely, estimating that this single step could prevent over 500,000 deaths worldwide every year. That's how destructive these fats can be. But here's the challenge. Until that goal is fully met, vigilance falls on you as the consumer. One of the easiest ways to cut out trans fats is to eat fewer ultra-processed snack foods and more whole, fresh foods. The fewer ingredients on the label, the less chance of hidden harmful fats. If you've been eating trans fat-containing snacks for years, you might wonder if it's too late to make a difference. The good news is, it's not. Studies show that once trans fats are removed from the diet, blood lipid levels improve within weeks, and inflammation markers can drop significantly within months. That means your arteries can start healing sooner than you think. Here's your interactive engagement moment. Think about the last processed snack you bought. Did you check for partially hydrogenated oils on the label? Type yes if you always check, or no if you sometimes forget. Your answer might encourage someone else to pay closer attention next time they shop. By staying alert and making small, consistent swaps, you protect your arteries from one of the most damaging ingredients in the modern food supply. And that means more years with the energy, independence, and confidence to live life fully. Another risky choice for seniors is the late-night cheese and processed meat combo. Comforting at first, but a silent burden for your heart. Cheese and processed meats like salami, pepperoni, ham, or smoked sausage are a pairing that feels comforting, indulgent, and satisfying. For many people, especially in the evening, a few slices of cheese with some cured meat seems like a harmless snack. But for seniors over 60, this combination can quietly set the stage for artery damage, especially when eaten before bed. The problem starts with saturated fat. Both cheese and processed meats are high in it, and excessive saturated fat intake raises LDL cholesterol, the type that contributes to plaque buildup in the arteries. Plaque doesn't just narrow the arteries, it also makes them less elastic. And when arteries lose elasticity, your heart has to pump harder to push blood through, increasing strain over time. The second issue is sodium. Processed meats are among the highest sodium foods in the modern diet, often containing over 500–800 milligrams of sodium in just a few slices. Cheese adds another 150 to 300 milligrams per ounce. Combine the two, and one evening snack could easily deliver more than 1,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly all of the safe daily allowance for someone with heart concerns. Eating this much sodium late at night poses a specific risk. It prevents your blood pressure from dipping naturally while you sleep. This non-dipping blood pressure pattern is linked to higher rates of heart attack, stroke, and kidney disease. It also contributes to swelling in the feet and ankles, especially in older adults whose circulation isn't as efficient. Processed meats also contain preservatives like sodium nitrite, which gives them their pink color and distinctive flavor. While nitrites themselves aren't always harmful, they can convert into nitrosamines in the body, compounds linked to oxidative stress and inflammation, both of which harm artery walls. And when nitrites are combined with the saturated fat in cheese, the inflammatory effect on the cardiovascular system can be even greater.
Research in circulation has shown that regular consumption of processed meats increases the risk of heart disease by up to 42%, even after adjusting for other diet and lifestyle factors. For seniors, the impact can be faster because age-related changes, like slower metabolism, reduced kidney efficiency, and stiffer arteries, magnify the harm. Serving size control helps, but with this combo, even small portions can cause problems. 2 ounces of cheese and 2 ounces of salami add up to about 300 calories, 12 to 14 grams of saturated fat, and 1,000+ milligrams of sodium. If you choose to have it at all, keep your portion to less than 1 ounce of each, and not more than once a week. But for those with high blood pressure, heart disease, or chronic kidney disease, it's best to avoid this pairing altogether. Timing is another concern. Eating cheese and processed meats in the evening means your body is digesting a heavy load of saturated fat and sodium overnight. Saturated fat takes longer to break down, so your digestive system stays active when it should be resting. This can also lead to acid reflux, which disrupts sleep, and poor sleep itself is a risk factor for heart problems. If you enjoy the texture and richness of cheese, consider swapping in a low-sodium, reduced-fat cheese like fresh mozzarella or ricotta earlier in the day, when your body is more active.
Pair it with fresh vegetables or whole grain crackers rather than processed meats. This way you satisfy your craving without overloading your arteries. Pairings can also help create safer alternatives. Instead of cheese with salami, try pairing cheese with fresh fruit like apple slices, grapes, or pear. The fiber in the fruit helps counteract the heaviness of the fat, and the natural potassium supports better blood pressure control. Another swap is hummus with vegetable sticks. Creamy, savory, and satisfying without the artery-straining fat and sodium. Caution is especially critical for seniors on blood pressure medication, statins, or diuretics. High-sodium snacks can counteract the effectiveness of these medications, and the extra fluid retention can put added pressure on the heart. For those with atrial fibrillation or other heart rhythm issues, the sodium surge can sometimes trigger irregular beats. One important myth to address. Some people believe that artisanal or natural processed meats are safe because they use celery powder instead of synthetic nitrites. But celery powder still contains natural nitrites, which can convert into nitrosamines during digestion, especially when combined with high heat or fatty foods. The difference in risk is minimal when it comes to artery health. Here's a powerful stat to remember. According to the World Health Organization, processed meats are classified as Group 1 carcinogens for their link to colorectal cancer, and their regular consumption is strongly associated with cardiovascular disease. For seniors, avoiding them is a simple, high-impact way to protect both heart and overall health. For those who truly miss the flavor, lean roasted turkey breast, unsalted nuts, or grilled vegetables can offer a savory, satisfying alternative. And if you want something to pair with wine or for a special occasion, opt for a small portion of lower-fat cheese with a plate of fresh, colorful produce instead of cured meats. Your arteries and your heart will thank you for it. Cutting back on this high-risk pairing can help maintain healthy circulation, reduce blood pressure spikes, and keep you feeling light and energized in the mornings. Before we move on, here's your interactive moment. Do you keep cheese and processed meats in your fridge right now? Type yes if you do, or no if you've already cleared them out. Your answer might inspire someone else to make a heart-healthy change today. Here's a big mythbuster: the so-called fat-free sweet snacks. They may look harmless, but the sugar swap makes them even more dangerous for your heart. For decades, fat-free has been marketed as a magic phrase for heart health. See it on a snack label, and it feels safe, almost virtuous. Fat-free cookies, puddings, frozen desserts, and candies have long been sold as guilt-free treats. But here's the hidden truth. When manufacturers remove fat from sweet snacks, they usually replace it with refined carbohydrates, extra sugar, and artificial additives. This swap can be even harder on your arteries than the original fat. Here's why. Fat gives food flavor and texture. Remove it, and something has to take its place to keep the snack appealing. Most companies turn to sugar, corn syrup, maltodextrin, and refined flour to create a satisfying mouthfeel. The problem is that these ingredients cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, followed by quick drops. These swings put stress on your blood vessels, triggering inflammation that weakens artery walls over time. For seniors over 60, the body's ability to handle sugar spikes is often reduced. Muscle cells are less responsive to insulin, and the pancreas may not release insulin as efficiently as it once did. That means sugar lingers in the bloodstream longer, exposing artery linings to more oxidative stress. Over months and years, this accelerates stiffening and narrowing, key risk factors for heart attack and stroke. Research in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that diets high in refined carbohydrates, especially in place of healthy fats, were associated with higher triglyceride levels and lower HDL cholesterol. That's the opposite of what you want for heart protection. Elevated triglycerides thicken the blood, making it harder to pump and more likely to form clots. Low HDL means there's less good cholesterol to carry harmful fats away from the arteries. Another issue is satiety, or rather the lack of it. Dietary fat helps slow digestion and signals fullness to the brain. When it's removed, you don't feel as satisfied, even if you've consumed plenty of calories. That's why fat-free snacks often lead to overeating. You may eat twice the serving size without realizing it, doubling your sugar and calorie intake in the process. And don't be fooled by the serving size printed on the box. Many fat-free cookies list 2 or 3 small cookies as one serving, but most people eat 6 or more in one sitting, especially if they believe the snack is healthier because it's fat-free. That can easily add up to 30–40 grams of sugar, far beyond the American Heart Association's daily limit of 25 grams for women and 36 grams for men. The timing of when you eat these snacks matters too. Consuming them late at night is particularly harmful. As your body prepares for rest, metabolism slows, and blood sugar remains elevated for longer.
This increases the likelihood of sugar being stored as fat, often in the liver and around abdominal organs, which is linked to insulin resistance and a higher risk of heart disease. So what's a better approach if you have a sweet craving? Instead of fat-free processed snacks, choose whole foods with natural fats and fiber. A small serving of full-fat Greek yogurt with berries offers protein, calcium, probiotics, and antioxidants. The natural fat helps keep blood sugar steady, while the fiber from the berries slows down sugar absorption. Or try a handful of raw nuts with a piece of fresh fruit. You'll get sweetness, healthy fats, and important minerals like magnesium and potassium, which support heart function. Pairing strategies also help. If you do choose to have a sweet treat, pair it with a protein or healthy fat to blunt the blood sugar surge. For example, have a small square of dark chocolate alongside a few walnuts, or dip apple slices into almond butter. These combinations are far kinder to your arteries than a box of fat-free cookies. Caution is especially important for seniors with prediabetes, diabetes, or metabolic syndrome. In these conditions, even small sugar spikes can cause noticeable harm. Artificial sweeteners, often found in fat-free snacks, aren't a perfect solution either. While they don't raise blood sugar directly, some studies suggest they can affect gut bacteria in ways that influence glucose control, and may even increase sugar cravings. It's also worth noting that the fat-free label can create a false sense of security. Research shows that people tend to eat larger portions of foods they perceive as healthier, even if those foods are loaded with sugar or sodium. This psychological effect can sabotage your heart health without you realizing it. Here's an important myth to bust. Dietary fat, in moderation and from healthy sources, is not your enemy. In fact, unsaturated fats from foods like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil can improve cholesterol levels, reduce inflammation, and help maintain healthy blood vessels. The problem is not fat itself, but the type of fat and the overconsumption of sugar and refined carbs that often replace it in fat-free products. If you've been choosing fat-free snacks for years thinking they're better for your heart, it's not too late to make a change. Switching to minimally processed, nutrient-dense snacks with healthy fats can stabilize your energy, improve your cholesterol profile, and reduce stress on your arteries. You may even find you feel more satisfied with less food, a win for both heart health and weight management. Here's your interactive engagement moment. Have you bought a fat-free snack in the last month? Type yes if you have, or no if you've already moved away from them. Your answer could help others rethink their snack choices and make a positive shift. By letting go of the fat-free myth and focusing on whole, balanced foods, you give your heart the nutrients it truly needs, not the sugar-laden substitutes that quietly cause harm. Finally, let's end on a positive note. The heart-healthy snack swaps that don't just avoid damage but actually strengthen your arteries. Replacing artery-harming snacks with heart-friendly alternatives is one of the simplest, most powerful changes you can make for long-term cardiovascular health. For seniors, this isn't just about avoiding dangerous ingredients. It's about actively nourishing your arteries so they stay flexible, responsive, and strong well into your later years. The right snack choices can lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol profiles, and reduce inflammation, all while keeping you satisfied. A good heart-healthy snack should meet a few key criteria. It should be low in added sugars and sodium, free from harmful trans fats, rich in fiber, and contain healthy fats that protect the cardiovascular system. It should also provide steady energy without spiking your blood sugar, especially important for older adults whose metabolism is more sensitive to rapid changes. One of the best swaps you can make is replacing chips or salty crackers with a small handful of unsalted nuts. Almonds, walnuts, and pistachios are particularly beneficial. They contain monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which help lower LDL cholesterol while raising HDL cholesterol. Walnuts in particular are rich in plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation in the arteries. A serving size for most nuts is about 1 ounce, roughly a small handful, providing the benefits without excessive calories. Pairing nuts with fresh fruit creates a snack that's both satisfying and heart protective. The fruit offers natural sweetness, fiber, and antioxidants, while the nuts slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar. Apples with almonds, pears with walnuts, or berries with pistachios are all excellent combinations. The potassium in fruit also helps balance sodium in the body, supporting healthy blood pressure. Another strong option is raw vegetable sticks with hummus or guacamole. Vegetables like carrots, celery, cucumber, and bell peppers are high in fiber and low in calories, while hummus adds plant protein and healthy fats from chickpeas and tahini. Guacamole provides monounsaturated fats from avocado, plus potassium and magnesium, minerals that help keep arteries relaxed. These snacks are especially good in the evening, as they're light yet filling and won't interfere with sleep. For those who crave something creamy and slightly sweet, plain Greek yogurt with fresh berries is a smart swap for ice cream or pudding. Greek yogurt is high in protein, contains calcium for bone health, and provides probiotics that support digestion. The berries add antioxidants, fiber, and a dose of vitamin C, which supports collagen production in blood vessel walls. To keep it heart-friendly, choose unsweetened yogurt and add just a drizzle of honey if needed. Whole grain toast with avocado is another heart-healthy snack that feels indulgent. The fiber in whole grains helps lower cholesterol, while avocado offers healthy fats and potassium. Add a sprinkle of flax seeds or chia seeds for an extra boost of omega-3s. This combination not only supports artery health, but also helps maintain steady energy for hours. Timing matters too. Eating these snacks earlier in the evening gives your body time to process and use the nutrients before rest. If you do snack closer to bedtime, keep the portion light and focus on foods that won't spike blood sugar or cause bloating, as both can disrupt sleep quality. For best results, think about pairings that enhance nutrient absorption. For example, pairing vegetables with a healthy fat like olive oil helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. Combining vitamin C-rich foods like strawberries with plant-based iron sources like pumpkin seeds can improve iron absorption, supporting better oxygen delivery to tissues. It's also wise to keep these snacks easily accessible. When healthy options are prepped and ready in your fridge or pantry, you're far less likely to reach for processed artery-straining foods. Wash and chop vegetables ahead of time, portion out nuts into small containers, or keep a bowl of fresh fruit within reach. Caution is still important, even with healthy snacks. Nuts are calorie-dense, so large portions can lead to weight gain over time. Too much avocado can add excess calories as well. For those with kidney disease, very high potassium intake should be monitored, so it's wise to check with a healthcare provider if you're on a restricted diet. And if you're on blood thinners like warfarin, be mindful of sudden large increases in vitamin K-rich foods like spinach or kale chips, as this can affect medication effectiveness. For seniors with specific heart concerns, tailoring your snack swaps can make them even more effective. If high cholesterol is your main concern, focus on oats, nuts, and plant sterol-enriched spreads. If high blood pressure is the issue, prioritize potassium-rich fruits and vegetables, along with low-sodium options. If inflammation is a problem, choose snacks rich in omega-3s, like walnuts or chia seed pudding. The shift from harmful snacks to heart-healthy ones doesn't have to feel restrictive. In fact, many people find that once they make the switch, their cravings for salty, sugary, or heavily processed foods decrease. Your taste buds adapt, and fresh whole foods start to taste more vibrant and satisfying. Here's your interactive engagement moment. If you had to choose right now, would you rather have nuts with fruit, vegetables with hummus, or yogurt with berries? Type nuts, veggies, or yogurt in the comments. Sharing your favorite can give others new snack ideas to try. By making these swaps consistently, you're not just avoiding the damage of high sodium, high sugar, or trans fat-laden snacks. You're actively building stronger, more resilient arteries. Over time, these small daily choices add up, supporting better circulation, steadier energy, and the independence to enjoy the activities you love well into your later years. We've covered a lot today, and each point matters. The snacks you choose, especially in the evening, can either quietly strengthen your arteries or slowly wear them down. By avoiding the hidden salt bomb snacks, you protect your blood pressure and reduce overnight strain on your heart. By steering clear of sugary energy bars, you prevent inflammation and plaque from forming in your arteries. Cutting out trans fats removes one of the most damaging ingredients still hiding in some packaged foods. We've also seen how the late-night cheese and processed meat combo can overload your body with sodium, saturated fat, and preservatives, a triple hit your heart doesn't need. And we've exposed the fat-free sweet snack myth, showing that swapping fat for sugar is no gift to your arteries. But most importantly, we ended with the positive side of the story, the power of heart-healthy snack swaps that actually nourish and protect your cardiovascular system. This isn't about perfection, it's about patterns. One snack won't decide your future, but the choices you make most often will. Each time you reach for a low-sodium, low-sugar, trans-fat-free snack rich in fiber and healthy fats, you're giving your arteries the chance to stay flexible, open, and resilient. Over weeks and months, those choices translate into steadier energy, healthier blood pressure, and stronger protection against heart attack and stroke. And remember, this isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. It's about having the stamina to travel, play with your grandchildren, garden, or simply enjoy a morning walk without worrying about your heart keeping up. Now it's your turn to take action. Look at your pantry or fridge tonight and find at least one harmful snack you can swap for a healthier option. Then come back and share your change in the comments. Type strong heart if you're committing to at least one swap this week. By making these small but consistent changes, you're joining a community of seniors who are taking charge of their health, one bite at a time. Your heart is worth it, and your future self will thank you.